Today on Locked On Phoenix Suns, a game we thought the Suns absolutely had to win, absolutely were going to win, was turned on its head before tip-off with some surprise returners for the Pelicans and was turned back on its head once again late as the Suns watched it slip away. What went wrong? Next.
You are Locked On Suns, your daily Phoenix Suns podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back in to Locked On Suns. I'm Brendon Kleen, a staff writer at Awful Announcing and a credentialed Suns media member. Thank you for making Locked On Suns your first listen here on this Friday. Don't forget Locked On Suns is free and available on all platforms, including YouTube. So click that follow or subscribe button. Do what thousands of other Suns fans have already done. Become an everydayer and get locked on to the Phoenix Suns right here each and every day. Today's episode brought to you by the FanDuel Sportsbook. Start the season with a big return at FanDuel, where new customers can place a $5 bet and get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. Joining me, as always, from the Wild West Valley, my fellow Suns credentialed media member. How are we feeling late on this Thursday night after an unfortunate loss, Ben Garcia?
I'm still hung on the first thing that you said, which was like the teaser to the episode where you were like, what went wrong? Brendon, what went right? Like, what went right in this game? Outside of Booker's first 10 minutes in this game, what went right? Because I don't know what it was.
Well, that's my lesson of the game, and we'll get to some of it. But,
All right.
I mean, here's the thing. Let's just kick it off. We'll talk about our moments of the game here and stuff. I just got to say, you are the fan is short for fanatic guy. Ben, I think I have a secret for you. I think you're a fanatic. I know that you think of it as like a curse word here. I know you would never dare identify with such a group of people, but you tweeted that this was the worst loss of the season.
Yeah,
worst loss by two.
Worst
to
loss
a healthy team minus
close.
Zion. You absolutely are not going to convince me that this is the worst loss of the season. They allowed 138 to the Knicks. They got absolutely smacked in the face by the Thunder.
Loss.
They completely let go of the rope against the Brooklyn freaking Nets. Like, we'll get to our moments of the game, but what are you talking about, man? This is not the worst loss of the season.
Yeah, no, worst loss. I don't think it's close either.
Well, you got to explain yourself. You can't just say it.
No Kevin Durant, no Bradley Beal. A lot of guys were injured in that aspect. Nurkic wasn't there tonight, sure, but no one here can tell me that Nurkic is super important because everyone has told me how awful he is all year long.
Well, no. Here's the thing. Yeah, don't tell me why those games were fine. Just tell me why this one was so bad.
Yeah, why this one was so bad? Because we just got off of a streak without Kevin Durant where we all said, well, they're not this bad, right? Well, they're not this bad without Kevin Durant. It was just a bad streak. Some things didn't go their way. It was just a little... No, they're this bad without Kevin Durant. This Pelicans team, I don't care. Even with some of these guys coming back, they're not very good. And to show up like that, like you were just going to steamroll this team and for most of the game, outplay them. And in the fourth quarter, when it matters most, get outplayed and have mental mistake after mental mistake that we can get into in just a second here.
Yeah.
Brendon, we can't have that. Like, we can't have that tonight. And the last, man, to put a cherry on top of all of it, Devin Booker trying to draw a bleeping foul on the last play of the game. Dude, you're not going to get that call. You're not going to get that call at the end of the game. You need to figure out a way to get around Herb Jones or develop a play for your other star on the team, Bradley Beal, or potentially your best three-point shooter in Grayson Allen. I understand you're probably not going to drop a play for Grayson Allen, but Herb Jones is going to be hunting you. Like, he's going to be hunting you.
I mean, you're not going to draw up a play at all. There was 2 seconds left. I would say he probably wasn't trying to draw a foul. I think he just thought he got fouled. I mean, there is a difference there, right?
Let me break
the ball swiped out of his hands. He was a Butterfingers in that moment, and he tried to cross him over and go back left, and he just got kind of swiped. I mean, I blame Book for making a mistake there. I don't know if it was that he was like, throwing himself into Herb Jones or anything, but hold on. We'll get to some of these mental mistakes because that's a definite one that I had on my list of things we should get to. What I will say about this game, if we're going to just stay in the mold that we normally do and say moment of the game, you could have told me, you could make a very good case that the moment of this game was pregame when the freaking lineups got announced and all the dudes we thought were not going to play are suddenly in the game. I mean, you can say all you want that this Pelicans team's not good. That's just not true. This is the team that pushed the Suns to 6 games in 2022, basically. I mean, Zion's not healthy. Everybody else is. They also have DeJounte Murray now. Okay, they're starting a rookie at center instead of Jonas Valanciunas. Other than that, this is the same exact group. They got Trey Murphy coming off the bench. He's even better than I don't even remember if he was on the team back then. He's better now. They got, Brandon Ingram playing well and all these guys. So I just don't think it's true that I just think that the expectations shifted in a major, major way once all these guys who were questionable suddenly got flipped to active and a hungry Pelicans team at home brought its A game. I'm not excusing all the mental mistakes, so let's get to those, but that's my stance on it. We can talk about it more as we go. I was just going to say really quickly, last night we talked about how the Suns would be favored. The Suns were favored 1.5 in this game, right? All these guys came back, and that swung the pendulum a half a point. The Suns were favored a point in this game. All those guys coming back, even the betting markets didn't think the Pelicans were that much better. If that was the case, I was monitoring it. I thought the Pelicans would be a favorite in this game. Never happened. No one thinks this Pelicans team is that good. And yeah, we can get into the other things, but I'm frustrated, man. I am a fan, but I'm frustrated because you can't have that effort. Well, take us to your moment of the game because it was one of the mental mistakes that you were frustrated by.
Suns get a offensive Suns draw up I guess I shouldn't say draw up a really good play because I don't know exactly if it was a drawn up play. Booker makes a really good pass down low to Mason Plumlee. Mason Plumlee goes to throw it down. Pelicans smartly foul him, or it felt like it was a hard foul, like we're going to make you earn it at the free throw line. Mason Plumlee then misses 2 free throws. I believe that puts the Suns, I just moved exactly where it was, but that was at the 4:22 mark in this game. That would have, if I'm not mistaken, given the Suns the lead or at least tied it. Didn't do so. And then after that just started a avalanche of bad passes from Devin Booker over to Bradley Beal. Before that, you could even say the Bol horrendous passes, which, by the way, Bol fans, I understand he was 3 for 4 tonight. He was one of the bad portions of this game, like the very big bad portions of this game. That is why this dude does not play. Yeah. He's not very good.
The Bol pass was much earlier. He wasn't in the game at this point.
No, he wasn't in the game at that point, but he had 2 horrendous.
He had 2 awful turnovers. You're absolutely right. But the Plumlee thing was like 5 minutes after that.
Yeah, it was. The Mason Plumlee was the other thing after. Devin Booker trying to squeeze a ball in between 2 defenders over to Bradley Beal, ends up in a jump ball, goes the other direction, they score. Horrible mistake after horrible mistake. All these issues were supposed to be Frank Vogel last year. Like the big bad man was out of there.
Mason Plumlee missing free throws is a Frank Vogel issue. I mean, come on.
They shot the ball way better from free throw land last year with Frank Vogel. I'm not saying that's Frank Vogel.
It's not coaching. Mason Plumlee switched hands.
No, that's culture. That's culture. That's culture, in my opinion.
Mason Plumlee's so bad at free throw shooting, he had to literally switch his hand over. He cannot shoot free throws.
Mental mistakes, I think, are culture, man. And I'm not blaming this on Mike Budenholzer. I'm blaming this on the players. They need to look themselves in the mirror and change something up because this identity that you were just going to walk in and beat teams, no, man, I can't let them get away with it. That was awful. That was a pathetic effort. I'm sorry. Over to you.
I don't think about letting them get away with it. I just think let's pick the battles. And so I have four late game mistakes that I think you could really pick nits on. All right. And I'll let you tell me which one cost them the most or which one was the worst or whatever. Okay. One is the hesitation and kind of late clock 3 by Grayson Allen. I don't know if that one was so terrible. He misses it, but if he makes that shot, I think it would have put the Suns within 1 point or tied it. Booker, you talk about him on the last second shot trying to draw a foul. How about passing up the layup a moment after that when he beat Brandon Ingram? He honestly felt like he could have dunked it, and he passes it to the corner. Then there was the failure to foul, which allowed the Pelicans to get a dunk on the other end because I think that was also Book on Ingram, who kind of threw himself at him but didn't actually make enough contact to get the foul called. And then I did have Booker's last second shot because I think you can quibble with the path that he took, only needing 2 there. Why are you crossing back up? I felt like he was trying to go for the win and get a step back 3 going left on that, when if he just kind of continues, he can get an off-kilter shot going right, maybe around the elbow before time runs out. So those were the 4 that I had. I hear you on the Plumlee thing. That is obviously a bad mistake in that spot. Maybe the Bud mistake there would be even having Plumlee on the court. I don't know. There are plenty to choose from here, but Those were the 4 that I thought were the most egregious. A little bit after yours, once the game was really, really in the balance, and it felt like everything went against them.
Well, this is the issue with some of the aggressiveness with Devin Booker, because I don't think it was also just at that point where I thought he could have thrown it down. It was a little bit later in the game that I would have to find that he kicked out for another he went up for what I thought he could dunk it and got fouled. Granted, he hit both free throws, so no harm, no foul.
Yeah, got like 4 free throws late that were pretty big. But yeah, he was trying to draw contact a lot.
Yeah, so it was also the 19-footer that I just had here a second ago that I was looking at. So Devin Booker at the 3:30 mark makes a 19-footer pulling up shot. He was trying to draw a foul. Eddie Johnson,
the little floating thing.
Yeah, like
when Herb was draped all over him.
Come on, man. It's late in these games. You have got to step up to the plate and be the assassin that Kobe Bryant, was the one that mentored you to be. Kevin Durant is not here. And we'll get to things that we learned about this game, which is also going to go towards Devin Booker this year, just pre-teaser. But, come on, man. So let's stop hunting for contact. I understand it's a regular season. You will get fouled
like you said,
if
he
you
made that shot. He played pretty close.
Well, he was 6 for 18.
I think that I was going to say, late in this game, I think that he converted on just about everything he was trying to do, which is why I said I think passing up that shot, and I think the shot selection and the mental approach on that final play were the 2 holes I would poke in it. And I don't know. To me, the worst one of those, I would probably say, was failing to foul. They got back in it, but if they're able to foul there, they slow the clock down. They don't have just 2 seconds left at the end of this thing. Maybe guys miss along the way and you're not, needing even 2. Maybe it's just 1. Maybe you're tied. That was the one where it felt like the biggest, come on. You really got to make those count. Okay.
That 12 minutes flew by. Gosh, that flew by.
Feels like we already did our lessons of the game, and that could have been a whole show. But I got to talk about Bradley Beal. Ben asked me at the top what went right in this game. Bradley Beal went right, and I got to salute the man. Coming up next. First, today's show is brought to you by Robinhood. With Robinhood Gold, you don't need a silver spoon to eat up the financial favors of the 1%. Robinhood Gold allows others to get the rates and perks usually available for the high society only. Now, the resourceful individual with Robinhood Gold can earn the very liberal rate of 4.25% APY on uninvested cash and be rewarded with a handsome 3% retirement boost on IRA account contributions. Robinhood Gold provides the privileges of high net worth for any net worth. These generous benefits are now available for only $5 a month. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. Sign up at robinhood.com/gold. Terms apply for specific product disclosures. Visit Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rate may change. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold, LLC. Coming back. Reminder to sign up for the Locked On Suns daily newsletter. Probably a heater on Friday for you guys, considering how angsty this game is making everybody in Suns land. Just scroll down wherever you're finding the show. Click that link. It'll take you right to the page. You put your email address in. You get up-to-date Suns, NBA, fantasy basketball analysis straight to your inbox. Support the show, best of all. Prove that the Suns fans know what's up. We got rankings coming out, numbers among all the network shows, and, I think we were 17th last time. Let's bump that up. All right, lessons of the game. I'll start us off, Ben. Is it fair for me to compliment Bradley Beal? You said nothing went right. I think he had a pretty darn good game.
Yeah. Bradley Beal was pretty good. And he didn't get injured. Honestly, I don't know. He might have walked all the way back to the team's locker room and sprained an ankle, but for the most part, it's not reported
that's actually where I wanted to start is midway through the second quarter, he did turn an ankle because Brandon Ingram was in his jersey. I mean, not illegal contact or anything, but a little obnoxious. Doesn't leave the game. Stays in, toughs through it. Maybe it wasn't anything severe, and I'm giving him more credit than he needs. But how many times have we seen Beal, have to leave games for something like that, or the team want to play it carefully, whatever? Not only did he stay in the game, he was very, very good throughout and made a 3 right after that ankle turn. Defensive play after defensive play, big rebound, multiple different times. Obviously, I don't want to ignore the turnovers, and he had a tough assignment a lot of the night against Brandon Ingram. I mean, the 21-point third quarter that Ingram had, I'm not going to ignore the fact that Beal was guarding him, but also that's like a 6-inch height difference, so it kind of is what it is. To me, Ben, though, this is the version of Beal we plead for him to be. All last season, he's not playing his normal role. He's a point guard. Why are we making him play point guard? What's going on here? Can you just be basically a super role player? Can you be, early career John Wall, Robin, Bradley Beal, please? Can you find that back within you? He's doing it. He didn't take until April to figure it out this year. He's been doing this from the jump. And you mentioned it. Maybe you give them less credit for losing this game because he was in. I think that's totally valid. Much different than the first time KD was out. You're wasting a performance like this from Beal. But if I'm just zeroing in on Beal particularly, this was exactly the type of game that Bradley Beal needs to play for this team. And so I gotta identify it when it happens.
Yeah, Beal was good tonight. It's just frustrating, man, because you said it at the end. They just wasted a good Bradley Beal performance, which, if we're just being honest, has actually been pretty good all year when he's been in the lineup. The problem is he's never in the lineup. Here's the one other thing that I thought Bradley Beal did well. I thought he kept them in the game defensively in the fourth quarter, stripped a couple of times, also had no care for his body, diving on the floor for a Devin Booker horrendous pass in between two guys. Now, I mean, the problem is he had to do the jump ball, and he's not going to beat out, I think it was Herb Jones in that jump ball. He's just a lengthy guy who's also taller than him. My moment of the game is
lesson.
My lesson of the game is I struggle with even saying this because it's so frustrating to say. Devin Booker's clearly regressed, man. He's clearly regressed. Without Kevin Durant in the lineup, he has clearly regressed. He has not been the same player this year. Once again, without Kevin Durant in the lineup, he was a pretty much no-show for 3 quarters. Yes, and late in the fourth quarter, he was better. But these performances, we were just like, oh, it's just a slump. Well, it's not a slump if every time Kevin Durant is out, he is horrendous. And for most of this game, he was not very good. I don't like the guy's body language. I don't really like his leadership on the court. And I'm going to throw this out there right now. His best buddy is Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant is not known for one thing: vocal leadership and maybe even locker room leadership. He's known for going after people on social media. I don't know if some of the bad parts of Kevin Durant is starting to rub off on Devin Booker because you are who you hang out with. But I've been thoroughly disappointed with Devin Booker this year. When Kevin Durant is not in the lineup, when his number has been called, he has not answered the bell, and he should take that to heart. And I'm so frustrated with that last. I understand that a guy is in your jersey, but man, do something else. Get to the rim. Do not get frustrated. Throw a shot up, even if you throw it up backwards. There is no reason ever, as a player to the likes of Devin Booker, who should not be getting a shot up with 2 seconds left. I don't even care if it gets blocked. Throw it up backwards.
Just push off something. Like Julius Randle, at least, right? Travel.
Well, they're not going to call. Well, guess what? They're not going to call that, Brendon, because they don't call that late in games. This isn't the Mavericks game. That doesn't really happen. And it's so stupid. Yes, I am a fan, Brendon, and I'm frustrated as a fan because Devin Booker, I feel like, is clear. Let me ask you this.
I don't think players get better and worse. Can we? I mean, he just he's had an inconsistent season.
You don't think they get better or worse?
I think they get better. I don't think they get worse. How do you get worse at a sport? You just lose skill that you used to have. I mean, aging, okay, like LeBron has gotten worse. You think a guy that's 27 and then teams, once he's 28,
aging and teams play you differently. Aging and teams play you differently.
I don't think teams are really playing him differently than they have all forever. I mean, I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you that when KD is out, it looks worse, 100%.
It's terrible.
Yeah. I think he's had bad performances when KD has not been in the lineup. I think overall he's not up to his normal standard. He's shooting 45% from the field, 35% from 3. But 25 points a game, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. He's getting to the free throw line as much as ever. He's taking more threes, buying in on that side of things with what Bud wants to do. For every bad game that he's had, tonight, very, very much included with Durant out. The Orlando game, very much included. The OKC game, of course. He's also had 44 against the Wolves with no KD, 33 against the Knicks, 26 against the Lakers. I mean, the Lakers, I guess, was when everybody came back. And then
he also lost both those games. 44 against Timberwolves, lost. and also lost to the Knicks. A lot of points.
Yeah,
Against
but
the team
you
that was
already
actually
excused
demolished
those losses, so let's keep the
on.
tally straight here.
Listen, I did it. Listen, I'm excusing the losses, but they're still. He didn't play well. I can excuse them, but
Well, he did. He played well and they lost.
I don't think anyone played well in that Knicks game. You lose by 30 points.
No, I mean, look, I'm not going to sit here and say that overall he played well, but I'm just saying, like,
someone throw me in that locker room. I light a fire under some
I don't know.
players'
I guess,
asses.
look, I just don't feel like this game or really this season has changed much of how I feel about Devin Booker, which is the rant that I already made. I think literally after that Knicks game while we were sitting in Footprint Center, how many guys in the NBA can affect outcomes of games solo? 10?
6.
5?
I'd probably say 6, 7.
And Devin Booker's not one of them.
He is not. No.
I don't think we learned that this year.
Unequivocally true.
Did we?
No,
Did we learn that this year?
no. We learned that after the 2021 finals when we saw one team had a bona fide superstar and one team didn't. Like, sorry, I know he had back-to-back 40-point games. He also got stripped by Jrue Holiday. Like, I don't mean to. Now I'm just piling on Devin Booker. And I don't mean to do that.
We're going 4 years in the rewind to rehash the Jrue Holiday.
I can go further back. I can go further back. But yeah,
well,
not on Booker. Not on Booker.
Games he ever played.
Not on
yeah,
Booker. Not on Booker on this franchise. I can go further back.
So look, I guess to me it's just like, I mean, 6 of 20 is not acceptable. I mean, that's a bad game. I'm not sitting here telling you Devin Booker played well tonight. I think down the stretch he set them up to win, and then he screwed up the last possession. Like, I think that is all absolutely fair. I just think regressed. It's like, it feels kind of similar to me, if I'm being honest. I mean, if the season ends and he's still shooting 45%, maybe we can have a conversation. But everything else is pretty much close to what it's always been for him, statistically and everything else.
Maybe the rest of the league is catching up to him. Maybe that's what I should say. Maybe the rest of the league has adjusted well to Devin Booker. Maybe he hasn't regressed. I guess you don't regress at, I think he's 28. You don't regress at 28 years old. But what I will say is I do think as a leader and as a, I don't know, guy in that locker room, I'm not there. I'm just talking now. It doesn't feel like he's the same guy. It doesn't feel like since Kevin Durant's been here, he's been the exact same vocal leader of this team.
Yeah.
And
hard to tell,
I
but
think
it definitely doesn't stick out.
It doesn't, and it used to. I don't know. I don't want to pile on. I don't want to pile on the guy.
Bad night.
I don't want to be seen. I have 2 of his shoes and a couple of his jerseys in there, so I don't want to do that. But still, it's a really bad night, man. Really bad night.
Last but not least, the closeout magic number that I think might surprise some people. We got some new guys in the rotation and a great Grayson Allen performance. We'll get to all of that after one more break. First, today's show is brought to you by the FanDuel Sportsbook. Get ready to tackle the NFL action this season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. Let's check out what we've got. I will tell you right now, do not even think about betting the Cardinals game. You will just be in agony all weekend.
God, no.
However, we do have some college basketball, I think is honestly... actually, somebody was telling me women's college basketball is like the thing to bet because I don't think the odds makers have really caught up to actually how to set the lines, but they know that there's demand there. But men's college basketball, Indiana at home against Miami, Ohio, minus 3,500. That feels like a nice little favorite. Put your $5 down there. Get that easy W and get to work at FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. All right, let's get to the closeout, Ben, here. Quickly for you, magic number tonight. How many games, I'm just adding to your point here, but if I would have told you the Suns shot 17 of 45 from 3 without Durant in a game, you would have been like, oh, they won. You know?
Yeah.
That's another disappointing part of this game is they got really hot and put up a lot of them right after a game where they just put up 32 on Tuesday against the Spurs. And still came up short. That's a bummer.
The problem is if you said they made 17 3-pointers without Kevin Durant, but they also gave up 126, you're like, oh, they probably lost. Also, again, the defense is taking a step back when Kevin Durant's gone.
Magic number probably should actually be 45, which is the amount of points they gave up in the third quarter. That was atrocious.
Bleep, man.
Bench mob vibe check here. So the other thing we did not mention, not that it excuses anything, but you mentioned Nurk being out still, and obviously we've harped on the KD side of it. Ryan Dunn also went from probable to out, maybe just being cautious. I don't really know.
Oh, good. Let's be more cautious.
I mean, Dunn against Ingram, that probably would have helped.
No, I don't know, Brendon. We got to make sure his ankle that's a little hurt at 22 years old
I just threw that out there. I'm not saying I talked to Mike Budenholzer. I just am saying it's weird that he went from probable to out.
Well, listen, I don't know, man. I don't know. We got to make sure those 22-year-olds yes, we could have used Ryan Dunn tonight.
Maybe he was really hurt. I don't know, but either way,
I'm sure. After he's given all those high fives on the sideline, that ankle must have been really buckling up. Could you mention the 17 turnovers tonight as well?
Yeah. I thought about throwing that one out there, but I did harp on it with Beal. Beal had
you did
quite a few, and that was the blemish on his night for sure. You mentioned the one from Book on the pick and roll with Beal that Beal had to dive on and lost the jump ball. So those were bad. Those were bad. And 17, I mean, how many transition points how many points off turnovers did New Orleans have? 24. So.
Oh, good. It felt like all of those were in transition, by the way.
Yeah, well, I think most of those are going to be. That's exactly why turnovers suck so bad. Bench mob vibe check. So because Ryan Dunn was out, we saw more Josh Okogie. Side rim to corner three in the fourth quarter. That was ugly. But actually it might not have been the fourth quarter. I think it might have been the third quarter. But then charged down the court and got a steal and then an assist on a three. So he can do that 5 times a game if he's going to create a three on the other end and get the steal out of it. But yeah, coming back down to earth as a shooter for sure. And then your guy got some minutes, Ben. 11.
Oh, man.
Bull. What'd you think?
Oh, man. Oh, I thought he was just fine. I could have done without the couple of turnovers, one of them blowing down the court. He also had a glorious offensive rebound and then just was like, hey, what is this doing in my hand? Hey, here. And threw it to the other team, immediately scoring that points off turnovers. I mean, Bol was exactly what I thought he was going to be. And then guy in the comment, I was going to say something else, but guy in the comments like, oh, Bol 3 of 4 tonight. He was not a difference maker. He will continue to not be a difference maker. If Bol is playing, this team is in a bad spot, hence losing again.
At some point, the people okay, he got minutes. So if you're one of the people who sits there always saying things would be better if they played Bol, he got 11 minutes tonight, and the team was outscored by, they were +8 with him out there.
So
+8. Maybe it is the magic number. Yeah. But no,
maybe they should have left him
mistakes. And if it was some big, huge positive, I think we would see it. So you got to take that data, guys, and apply it to your evaluation of Bol. Otherwise, you're just you're convincing yourself, you're tricking yourself.
Just really quickly, because we didn't hit on this, and I know we only have a couple of minutes left. What did you think of Mason Plumlee? Because we're doing bench mob vibe check, right? Iguodala was on the bench tonight. What did you think of Mason Plumlee getting the start tonight? Because you and I kind of talked about, was that you think that was kind of like a last minute thing because a bunch of guys came back, or
because Messi played, I think. Yeah, okay. because he played. Gotta say, this game, I like Ryan Dunn. Happy to have Iguodala. I was pretty hyped about Yves Messi pre-draft. He was my guy. He was the one I really wanted them to get. So this was a bummer for me to watch him gobble up 6 freaking offensive rebounds and make a decent impact on the game. 3 of 9 from the field, not super great, but he was.
Are you saying they missed Yusuf Nurkic grabbing those defensive boards, stopping our boy?
They probably did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he played. I mean, if this was still the team that was missing him and going tiny all game, or like Daniel Tice or whatever, I would feel differently. But I understood the Plumlee thing.
No, I was just curious your take on it, because you and I talked for a little bit. Like, this was a little bit of a stretch where we could see a lot of Iguodala starting, and we just didn't see that tonight. Remember the other night when I said that this was we'll win this game? There's no more of that. No more. Oh, there's a W on the schedule. Hey,
just us, right? I mean, We were laughing at the injury report. This team had lost 9 straight and 15 of 16, Ben. So it was as bad as we thought. Then they just got all their dudes. So,
Brendon, I hurt my pinky moving this mic around. I'm going to need some load management. I'm probable for Sunday, but we'll see how it goes.
Probably won't play then, yeah.
No, I probably won't play. Probably won't get anything out. It's ridiculous.
Last thing to shout out, Grayson Allen did have a solid game as well, a near triple-double.
Thanks, Grayson.
I think that he is back to his form from last season. I think that his decisiveness is what really jumps out to me, where he catches the ball, he's either automatic with the 3 or he's attacking a closeout and making the right pass. His finishing has improved, but always likes to shout that out. I think you're seeing that when the 10 assists, it's not like he's like playing point guard. It's just he's playing in the flow of the offense at a really high level and making the right read off of whatever position he might be in. He's been in the pick and roll more this year, obviously spotting up. Sometimes he does happen to handle the ball, and that versatility is really, really big for them. So, all the people who were just like, ship him out, get him out here, get a center in place.
Stupid.
It's going to be a big blow if they do have to do that. So tonight was a good reminder.
Grayson Allen was good. He's starting to kind of develop into that guy, finding his spot as the 6-man role. I would like to see Grayson Allen get in the white boy of the year race. Tyler Hero's playing firmly in that. Peyton Pritchard's been good there. So I would like to see Grayson Allen potentially get back in that race, white boy of the year.
Can Cooper Flagg win it from North Carolina, or does he have to be in the NBA?
Dude, I was watching some Cooper Flagg yesterday against Auburn. Dude, that kid can play. Kid can play. And white boy of the year has to be like I've seen some parameters put on this.
European guys. We're talking about American guys.
This is my guy, Carson Brabber, who put this out there. Dude, I went to school with. Nice guy, very good guy. Now I sound like Trump. Oh, very good. Now I went Russian. Either way. He kind of put out these parameters. I would like to see Grayson Allen get in that race. No European guys. And I don't think Tyler Hero can win this again. He's won it a few times. Peyton Pritchard, my guy out there, also put that. I think he's probably the leader right now. He's coming for the crown, man. Yeah, I would like to see Grayson Allen get back into that race. Yeah,
well, his fellow Dookie, if he's eligible from college, then I think he'll take it. But Grayson,
did we get it all out? Did we get it all out? I feel better now.
You had more to get out than I did. Did you feel good? Did you get everything out?
I feel better now. I feel like after a therapy session, with our guys at BetterHelp, you kind of get it all out and you feel better.
There will, Ben, I promise you, there will be a game where I match your energy. I just can't get there in December with injuries.
I wish it was tonight. Anyways.
There will be games. I promise you. People have heard it. The everydayers know that I can lose my temper as well. I will. Just tonight was your night, and that's all right. That'll wrap us up. Hit follow or subscribe if you haven't already. Sign up for the Locked On Suns daily newsletter. It's a big help. Supports the show a lot. We'll be back. Ben will be back on Monday for you with the recap of the back-to-back in Florida. I'll be back Monday night. And hopefully the break we're getting next week between games allows for Kevin Durant to be back on Friday, and we can stop talking about him not playing. But that's neither here nor there. Enjoy your weekend. Don't stress about the Suns. Please go take a walk in the beautiful Arizona weather, and we'll catch you next time.